Hello guys, and in this video we will be going over the pros and cons of passive shields or omega shields. I hope you guys enjoy. And also, just so you are aware, there is another epic bonus at the end of this video, so stick around. Alright, so if we go right into it, we know that there is a lot of chatter regarding should you go for passive shields, should you go for omega shields, or should you go for a mix. And ultimately, I'm going to tell you it depends on your playstyle, and it depends what you're using it for, and it depends on this and it depends on that. So it really, as you get the idea, it depends. So what does it depend on then? Well, I'll tell you. Mainly, it just depends what type of playstyle you go for. With omega shields, for example, those are expensive because they have an upfront cost of like 600 at the minimum at level 1. If you multiply that times 3 and then times 2, that'll be 3,600 hydrogen you will spend on shields alone if you use Omega Shield twice on 3 battleships. That's insane, right? And also, if you are level 20, 30, or 40, I would not recommend you use Omega Shields, at least not all Omega Shields, because that will be insanely expensive and totally not worth it. You have like maybe 20k cap on your Hydro. This will be like a third, a fourth, or a fifth of your entire Hydro cap every time you do a red star on shields alone. This doesn't even include just moving your battleships, moving your transports, and all the other crap that comes in with doing a red star. So yeah, insane. Okay, I guess you got my points on Omega Shields really sucking for red stars, but what are they actually good for? Great question. So as you're aware, Omega Shields kind of suck, but at the same time they don't. They're actually really useful for white stars. At the minimum anyway. The number one mistake I see in white stars is that almost every corp that I go in against, we're a low level corp at this point, so I'm not too surprised, but anyway, most of the corps we go up against, they end up almost always bringing in like 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever battleships of their 10 with passive shields. The number one problem with passive shields in white stars is that they don't regenerate quick enough. With omega shields, that's not a problem because you have a timer, which if it expires, your shield will run out, but you can reactivate it. And not to mention, it will likely be used at least 2 times within one game, sometimes 3. That's epic because that means you'll get 8,000 minimum cap times 3 within one white star game, versus maybe if you have level 4 passive shields, at least at the time of this video it's 8 grand, you may end up using like, you know, maybe 16-18 grand of that 24 possible cap that you would get, assuming the shield regenerated fully 3 times, but that is unlikely. Now we go back to this topic of red stars. It may seem like all doom and gloom, however, there is hope. You can actually mix these 2 shields. It's actually not an issue. You can mix in 1 battleship with Omega Shield or 2 battleships with Omega Shield, which I don't recommend if you're really trying to save Hydro, but you could do that, and 1 battleship with passive shields. You can use the Omega Shield ships or ship to be the punching bag. So you send it first into the masses of enemy ships, and it takes all the beatings and so forth, like the schoolyard bully that always stole your lunch money, even though lunch money wasn't a thing for me. But anyway, you have that ship take all the damage, and then the other 2 are sort of there as backup, and they don't take as much damage. And yeah, you don't have to worry about them getting depleted, having to worry about them regenerating, etc, 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 if that's not really your thing. Although again, if you want to see a practical way of playing with them, you can leave a comment and I'll make a video on it, and you can also check out the passive shields overview I went since the update in the description below. Anyway, so in recap, if you want to save hydrogen, go for passive shields. They're great for red stars, and they'll pretty much be your best friend. My only thing and the only caveat is I would recommend you to upgrade them to at least level 4, because that will get you at least 8,000 cap, and it will be good enough for what you need it for. But nowadays, it's actually worth upgrading to level 10 in comparison to how it used to work. So if you can upgrade it to the highest level possible, it would probably be better. Now, if we do a quick math problem just for funsies, because I see, like, for example, Leon makes all Omega Shields level 10 because, of course, he's overpowered. But anyway, he uses level 10, and it's like insanely expensive. I would have to look that up. Oh boy. Okay, so I looked it up. It costs 3,500 hydrogen to activate the 17,000 cap Omega Shields. That is level 10 Omega Shields. That is the maximum level you can get, and that is what Leon has, because why not? Anyway, so that is times 3. If you're using 3 battleships, that would be 10,500 hydrogen just for 3 battleships to be activated with level 10 Omega Shields. Holy sh**. Now, we compare this to passive shields, which cost you 66 hydro per 100 astronomical units or AUs you move. We can really get a sense of how these two shields are actually very different when it comes to hydrogen philosophy. When you're a baller and don't give a crap about your hydro and just keep throwing it around like you're giving singles to your grandmother, because yeah. Okay, in all realism here, if we were actually to pull out the calculator and calculate this math, we would get about... What was the number again? Hold up, let me look this up again. Cause math. It would be 1,650 hydrogen. Per battleship you move 2,500 AUs. That's a decent distance, but what if we double that? Okay, fine. If we double that, that would be... 3,300. I knew that on the top of my head. Don't judge me. Anyway, so it would be 3,300 to move this battleship 5,000 astronomical units. That is still less than Omega Shields. Granted, it does get close, but you gotta remember, how likely are you going to actually just use Omega Shields once? Not very likely at all, so you'll end up with 3,500 times 3 times 2, which is a number that I can't be bothered to calculate because it's too much hydro, so you get my point. Anyway guys, this concludes our video for today regarding Omega Shields versus passive shields. If I missed anything, leave a comment below and I shall look at it and probably be ashamed because I missed something. Anyway, so now it is time for your epic bonus. Alright, so what is it today? Well, basically, if you weren't aware, and I wasn't aware of this until recently, if for some reason you are like inches and inches away from like just barely not being able to reach your amounts for you to transport your transport or teleport your transport back to your system, and you have an artifact on board, what you could do is, assuming you have hydrogen upload or you manage to mine enough assuming you manage to mine enough hydrogen in a few seconds to just move your transport over to the gateway, it will still get transported over to your system even if you don't have the hydrogen, which is awesome because I didn't know this. Most people know that if you move your transports over to the gateway, it will get transported. Obviously, it will still take the cost of the hydrogen, but if you don't have the hydrogen to pay for it, it will still be transported. You just gotta get your transports there before the star blows up. Okay, cool. Now I am officially ending. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell button just so you are notified when I release new videos, which I will try for once every week or so. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Bye!